Do you remember Gaza genocide during Holocaust, or did you feel like a hypocrite? Okay, let me explain. So this is something that Muslims love doing, right? They read a passage. It's like, violence is not cool. Violence is not good, okay? And then what they do is they're like, they ask, well, if violence is not cool, why is this man violent? And when they say, why is this man violent, they're pointing a policeman that is, for example, forcibly arresting a stabber, or somebody who is doing some sort of an atrocity, a terrorist attack, or a burglary, whatever, a rapist during their action. And then what they say is like, why is this man being violent? Talking about the policeman while he is arresting somebody who's a threat to the public. Because violence is not okay, right? That's the logic here. So if violence is not okay, why is the police person being violent? Because violence is okay at certain situations. The Jews in Europe were productive members of society they were 5% of the population in Berlin, and yet they paid 30% of the taxes. They were fair, they didn't rape anyone, and there were zero German, Nazi German babies, whatever, like Aryan German Christian babies that are not Jewish at all in any way, shape, or form, and also did not belong to Jehovah's Witnesses or Gypsies, whatever, that were in the ghetto, that were being forcibly held by the Jews in the ghetto because they are crazy. So just like you cannot say violence is not okay when you are looking at a policeman, it is very important to understand the situation in front of you. The violence is actually a necessary and a moral thing. When a policeman is arresting somebody who is a murderer, that's violence. But in that case, violence is a moral obligation. It is a good thing. Violence can be a good thing when it's used to stop a murderer. Okay, sweetie? I'm saying it slowly because I know your parents are related and you're probably retarded. Did it make sense to you? Probably not, because you're retarded. But I'll say it again. When a police person is using violence to remove a nuisance that is a real nuisance, and not because somebody is delusional, has a paranoia complex, and therefore they decided to imagine that an inanimate object or a random person is just dangerous to them because they had lost their minds. No, when they're genuine, you see, this is important to understand, because when our bodies, they have, we have the white cells who use force to remove viruses, but sometimes our body goes crazy, and instead of policing the viruses, it starts attacking itself. A phenomena that is deadly, known as allergies or autoimmune diseases and things like that. And then you can say, hey, this violence is bad because the host body is being, you think the dust is an enemy and you went crazy, but on your craziness, you had not noticed that you had ruined your own lungs. But if there are actual cancer cells that are starting to develop, and the white cells that you had taught that, like you scared them because you told them, hey, just notice that you're not making any mistakes here, right? So instead of sometimes maybe suffering from mild allergies, like a little bit of sniffles when there is flowers around or something, you went crazy and like, no, don't do it. So they are not taking care of the cancer either, and now you're gonna die from cancer. I don't know, I probably got it more complicated for you, but basically what I'm saying, violence is moral when it's done in a correct manner. What the difference between Gaza and the Holocaust is that one was just Germany going crazy and basically in the process of going crazy, ruining itself, versus real problematic rabbis infested society that is a real problem. I hope it makes sense to you that there is a difference between violence and violence. Sometimes violence is moral, aka police person arresting a murderer. Sometimes violence is immoral, aka the murderer that used violence for no effing reason. I hope it helped. All right? Good. I know you did not understand what I was saying, but I tried my best. This is why I don't even care if you understood me or not. Who I care that understands me are people that have the policeman uniform. I just have to do my best, the best that I can, to make sure you'd never wear the police uniform. That's it. All right. Hope that was clear. All right. Should I continue addressing this idiot? No, I think. All right. Here's the thing. Did you guys, those who have brain, did you guys understand what I was saying, or should I explain it again? Maybe I mumbled or something. I'm not talking about Mr. Number 47. Clearly, he is deprived. But like the rest of you, did you understand? Because I'll explain again if you think. If there's something I really hated is when teachers explain the same things over and over and over again. So annoying. I was okay. Someone okay. Okay, you guys, you can't. Okay, I cannot fix stupid.